Donald Trump built a golf empire worth $151 million. But what if it's all built on inflated numbers, lawsuits, and politics? This is an inside look at how Donald Trump used golf to build something much bigger than a game. We're breaking down the truth behind his golf empire. This is the story every golf fan needs to hear. We searched Trump Golf and Golf Digest to bring you the full truth about his courses and controversy. Stick around until the end to find out how his next moves in 2025 could completely change the future of golf. Let's start with a glimpse into how golf became part of Trump's empire. Donald Trump entered the golf industry in the early 2000s, not as a traditional enthusiast or sports developer, but as a businessman with a keen eye for luxury branding and high-end real estate. His first foray was acquiring Trump National Golf Club Westchester in Briarcliff Manor, New York, followed by Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida. These moves signaled his ambition to carve out a niche in a space long dominated by legacy country clubs and elite sporting traditions. Trump saw golf as a canvas for prestige. His approach was less about the sport itself and more about what it symbolized: wealth, exclusivity, and power. For Trump, owning a golf course wasn't just about fairways and greens, it was about status and creating a luxurious brand environment he could control and monetize. This branding play aligned with his larger business philosophy: create high-end spaces, attach the Trump name, and market them as aspirational lifestyle experiences. During interviews from the early 2000s, Trump repeatedly emphasized how golf was a rich man's sport and an excellent real estate opportunity. He understood that golf courses could serve as anchors for residential communities, event venues, and hospitality ventures. The value wasn't only in the golf, it was in the add-ons, the clubhouses, the banquet halls, the high-end residences. Visual records from the time show Trump proudly showcasing his first clubs, often walking the grounds in a blazer and MAGA-style baseball cap well before the political branding took hold. These early clubs were meant to mirror traditional country clubs, but with an added emphasis on glamour, opulence, and his larger-than-life personality. Trump's golf properties were pitched as a step above the average private club, full of marble finishes, gold embellishments, and Trump family memorabilia. This aesthetic set the tone for what would become a global playbook. Up next, let's take a peek at the jaw-dropping properties Trump added to his wealth. As of 2025, Donald Trump owns or licenses his name to more than 17 golf properties across the globe. These aren't just country clubs, they're sprawling luxury estates with hotel-like amenities, branded residences, and high-end events that go far beyond the green. Trump's strategy has been clear: establish dominance not by volume, but by targeting elite locales and creating immersive lifestyle destinations. His most recognized properties include Trump Turnberry in Scotland, Trump National Doral in Florida, and Trump International Golf Links in both Ireland and Scotland. Trump Turnberry, acquired in 2014, is one of the jewels of his empire. The historic Scottish Links course has hosted the Open Championship 4 times. Trump spent nearly $200 million renovating the course and the iconic Turnberry Hotel, which now features marble-adorned suites, chandeliers, and sweeping ocean views. Despite political fallout post-Brexit and criticism over his relationship with Scotland, Turnberry remains a high-prestige venue, though it was removed from the open rota due to concerns over Trump's controversial image. In Florida, Trump National Doral, purchased in 2012 for $150 million, serves as the headquarters of the Trump Golf brand. Home to 4 courses including the Blue Monster, Doral has hosted dozens of PGA events in the past. Although the PGA Tour severed ties with the resort in 2016, Doral quickly pivoted to become a cornerstone venue for the LIV Golf League, funded by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. That pivot earned Trump both criticism and newfound attention from an alternative golf audience, further fueling his brand's polarizing visibility. Meanwhile, Trump International Golf Links in Doonbeg, Ireland, and Aberdeenshire, Scotland, have drawn global headlines for environmental challenges, local opposition, and large-scale landscape transformations. Still, these projects remain in operation, featuring multi-million-dollar clubhouses, private cottages, spas, and exclusive dining facilities. Even as local resistance persists, these properties continue to attract high net worth clients seeking privacy, status, and alignment with the Trump brand. What sets the Trump golf portfolio apart from conventional private clubs is its deep integration of luxury real estate and destination hospitality. Many of his golf resorts double as branded residential enclaves, where buyers can purchase villas or condos for anywhere from $1 million to $10 million, often bundled with lifetime club memberships, concierge services, and private access to Trump-owned amenities like jet charters and yacht rentals. At Turnberry, a single weekend wedding package can cost upwards of $100,000, while elite memberships across his clubs command initiation fees between $10,000 and $200,000, not including annual dues and optional luxury upgrades. These properties aren't just golf venues, they're experiential platforms. They're used for high-profile fundraisers, campaign stops, media shoots, and international summits. Trump's golf properties often double as political and brand stages, reinforcing his image as a builder, mogul, and nationalist. The club's aesthetics, gold accents, classical statues, oversized family portraits, create a visual consistency that's unmistakably Trump. From the windswept coastlines of Scotland to the palm-lined fairways of South Florida, Trump's golf courses have grown into more than businesses. They've become extensions of his identity. They blend wealth, politics, luxury, and spectacle. For Trump, they aren't just trophies. They're canvases for control, power, and legacy. Stay tuned. We're getting closer to Trump's next big swing in 2025, and trust me, it's not what you'd expect. Now let me show you why these clubs are more about real estate to him than sports. Donald Trump's golf business is built on a straightforward but aggressive formula: acquire struggling or undervalued golf courses, invest heavily in renovations and branding, and then reposition the properties as high-end, exclusive destinations. This model has been described by Trump himself as buying low, building prestige. It's a playbook that mirrors his larger real estate strategy. Identify opportunity where others see failure, infuse it with capital, and rebrand it into a money-making machine bearing the Trump name. Much of Trump's expansion in golf followed the financial crash of 2008, a period when dozens of golf courses across the United States either closed or went into foreclosure. As memberships declined and banks offloaded distressed assets, Trump seized the opportunity to expand his footprint. Properties that had once been unaffordable became prime targets, and his team often negotiated deals well below market value. Once acquired, the next step was to Trumpify them, adding ornate clubhouses, gold-plated fixtures, new landscaping, marble bars, and custom branding throughout the property. The revenue model is multifaceted. First, there are the hefty membership initiation fees, which in elite markets can exceed $200,000. Annual dues are also required and typically range in the tens of thousands depending on the club. Then there are the hospitality and event components. Weddings, fundraisers, galas, and sports tournaments all provide significant income. For example, Trump National Golf Club in Los Angeles frequently hosts luxury weddings with price tags upward of six figures. Similarly, Trump National Doral in Miami draws in revenue from large-scale business conferences and celebrity-attended sports events. According to media investigations and court disclosures, many of Trump's clubs generate between $15 million and $30 million in gross revenue annually. However, operating costs, including landscaping, staffing, security, and continual renovations, can be equally substantial. Maintaining elite grounds, offering five-star service, and employing staff trained to reflect the Trump brand is expensive. As a result, many clubs operate on tight profit margins. Still, the true value is often in the real estate, not just the income statement. A vivid example is Doral, which Trump purchased during bankruptcy proceedings and transformed into a glittering flagship. Before and after visuals of the property show how significant the upgrades were, from clubhouse architecture to on-site hotel rooms and spa services. While critics argue that many of these renovations are superficial or excessive, labeling them gilded overkill, The end result is undeniably more aligned with Trump's luxury image, helping to elevate the property's perceived market value and attract a more affluent clientele. Additionally, several Trump golf properties are integrated into larger mixed-use developments. These include residential villas, condos, and even branded hotel-style lodgings adjacent to the courses. In regions like the Middle East, Trump-branded golf resorts have served as anchor amenities for massive urban development projects, particularly in partnership with developers in Dubai. This approach effectively blurs the line between golf and real estate speculation, allowing the brand to extract value far beyond tee times and tournament tickets. In short, Trump's golf business isn't about the sport. It's about creating a branded ecosystem that leverages luxury, loyalty, and real estate. The clubs serve as elite gathering places, lifestyle venues, and investment assets all in one. Our video won't be complete without talking about the $151 million Trump golf controversy. At the heart of what's now known as the $151 million controversy are serious allegations that Donald Trump and the Trump Organization dramatically overstated the value of several golf properties. These inflated valuations, often ranging in the hundreds of millions of dollars, were allegedly used to secure favorable bank loans and insurance policies, a practice that, if proven, could amount to fraud. The controversy came to light through a high-profile lawsuit filed by New York Attorney General Letitia James in 2022. The lawsuit specifically called out Trump's valuation of golf-related assets, including Trump National Golf Club Westchester and the Seven Springs Estate in New York. The documents revealed startling disparities. For instance, Seven Springs, a property that had generated little to no income and was primarily used as a personal family retreat, was internally valued by the Trump Organization at over $200 million. These valuations were allegedly unsubstantiated by income or comparable market analysis, suggesting a deliberate effort to inflate asset worth on paper. At the core of the allegations is Trump's reported strategy of using hypothetical or aspirational assumptions in his financial statements. According to the New York Attorney General's complaint, Trump and his team valued properties based on the assumption that they were operating at full capacity, with all memberships sold at premium prices, even if the actual business showed declining revenue or financial losses. This method, while not uncommon in real estate modeling, contradicts generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, when used to present fair market value for loan or tax purposes. Investigative reporting by Forbes, ProPublica, and the New York Times has echoed and supported many of the lawsuit's claims. Journalists uncovered numerous instances where the Trump Organization assigned wildly different values to the same property depending on the audience. For example, in one year, Trump National Doral might be valued at $150 million in a bank document to secure financing, while being reported as worth only $10 million to tax authorities. This dual valuation practice not only raises legal red flags, but also illustrates the complexity and opacity of luxury real estate accounting. These financial maneuvers have raised broader ethical and economic concerns. Critics argue that if a company can manipulate valuations at this scale without consequences, it sets a dangerous precedent for the real estate and lending industries. Some experts go so far as to call this systemic white-collar fraud, hidden behind spreadsheets, assumptions, and accounting language. Trump, for his part, has denied all wrongdoing, repeatedly claiming that these are simply smart business practices and part of the standard process of marketing high-end assets. The implications extend well beyond this lawsuit. The controversy has led to multiple state and federal investigations, with potential consequences ranging from financial penalties to possible criminal referrals. But more importantly, it has exposed a pattern in the Trump business model, particularly in the golf division, one that relies heavily on branding, projection, and the manipulation of perceived value, often untethered from day-to-day profitability or usage. Let's now reveal what Trump's tax records say about his golf empire. When Donald Trump's tax records and financial disclosures were made public, Initially through New York court proceedings and later via a congressional release of Internal Revenue Service (IRS) data, they revealed a stark contrast between his public image as a billionaire mogul and the numbers reported to tax authorities. His golf businesses in particular reported consistent and often substantial financial losses year after year, despite Trump's public insistence that these clubs were booming with success. According to data reviewed by the New York Times, Trump claimed losses of more than $300 million over a 10-year span across his golf and resort properties. These weren't necessarily the result of actual financial collapse, but rather strategic accounting tactics commonly used in high-level real estate. These losses typically stemmed from items like depreciation of property assets, high interest payments on leveraged debt, and inflated operating expenses, all of which are legal under the current U.S. tax code and can significantly lower taxable income. A well-known example involves capital improvements. When Trump invests millions into remodeling a golf clubhouse or adding a luxury spa, those costs can be depreciated over time, effectively reducing the amount of taxable profit. Similarly, large-scale expenditures, such as redoing an entire course layout or building adjacent real estate, can be treated as business expenses, even if the actual benefit is long-term appreciation rather than immediate income. In one reported year, Trump paid just $750 in federal income taxes, a figure that sparked widespread criticism and became a political flashpoint during his presidency. Despite these paper losses, Trump's golf properties continue to generate real revenue. Membership dues, real estate commissions, hospitality income, and event rentals all contribute to cash flow. However, the tax strategy revolves around minimizing profit on the books, an approach that allows him to appear financially underwater while maintaining lavish lifestyles, including private travel, luxury accommodations, and staff-intensive operations at his clubs. Financial experts argue that Trump's approach reflects a broader pattern used by many ultra-wealthy individuals and real estate developers, but few apply it at the scale and with the level of controversy that Trump has. The legal distinction between tax avoidance and tax evasion becomes blurry when the numbers are this large, especially when different financial narratives are presented to different stakeholders, lenders, regulators, voters, and the public. Critics point to what they see as a deep flaw in the U.S. tax system, one that allows billionaires to legally reduce their tax liability to near zero, even as their business empires expand and their brand visibility skyrockets. Trump has defended his actions repeatedly, saying, "I know the tax code better than anybody because I use it." For supporters, this is evidence of business savvy. For detractors, it's a glaring abuse of privilege. Ultimately, Trump's golf empire may appear unprofitable on paper, but that doesn't mean it's not profitable in practice. The gap between tax filings and actual wealth generation is critical to understanding how Trump's golf resorts function, not just as leisure destinations, but as sophisticated financial instruments within his broader empire. Can't wait to see how this all adds up in 2025? We're almost there. But first, let's check how Trump's golf courses became political minefields. Donald Trump's presidency transformed his golf empire into something much more than a portfolio of luxury resorts. It became a series of political battlegrounds, drawing scrutiny, scandal, and support in equal measure. During his 4 years in the White House, Trump visited his own golf clubs nearly 300 times, including weekends at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, Trump National Golf Club in Virginia, and Trump Bedminster in New Jersey. These frequent visits raised immediate and sustained ethical concerns as Air Force One travel, Secret Service protection, and staff accommodations were all funded by taxpayers, effectively funneling public money into Trump-owned businesses. Government spending at these properties sparked widespread calls for accountability. Watchdog groups and lawmakers questioned whether Trump was violating the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution, which prohibits federal office holders from profiting from government or foreign patronage. These concerns intensified when it was revealed that government employees, including Secret Service agents, were sometimes charged premium rates for accommodations at Trump hotels, even during routine protective assignments. One of the most glaring scandals emerged in 2019 when Trump proposed hosting the Group of Seven G7 Economic Summit at Trump National Doral in Miami. The announcement triggered immediate backlash from both sides of the political aisle. Critics saw it as an unprecedented conflict of interest, the sitting president of the United States using a major international summit to drive business to his own resort. The proposal was ultimately abandoned, but the damage was done, fueling a narrative of self-enrichment and eroding trust in the separation between Trump's political role and private enterprises. Meanwhile, Trump's post-presidency alignment with the LIV Golf League, a controversial professional tour funded by the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, added further complexity. LIV golf events were hosted at Trump Doral and Trump Bedminster, attracting headlines not just for their star-studded player rosters, but also for the optics of Trump aligning with a regime accused of human rights violations, including the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Critics describe the partnership as ethically tone-deaf, but Trump embraced it, even publicly defending the Saudis and the LIV Tour's disruptive challenge to the PGA establishment. The fallout was immediate in the professional golf world. The PGA of America stripped Trump Bedminster of the 2022 PGA Championship, citing reputational risk and the desire to protect the sport's integrity. Similarly, the Royal and Ancient Golf Club, R&A, announced that it had no plans to stage championships at Trump Turnberry, once one of the most prestigious venues in Scotland. These rebukes represented significant financial losses and a symbolic blow to Trump's long-stated dream of hosting a major championship at one of his properties. And yet, in a paradoxical way, these controversies only deepened Trump's brand loyalty among his political base. For many supporters, the corporate backlash and canceled events were seen not as valid responses to ethical concerns, but as politically motivated attacks from liberal institutions. As a result, patronizing Trump golf clubs became a form of political expression, a way to visibly align with Trump's message and defy the so-called elite establishment. Controversy, once a liability, became a powerful form of marketing. In the end, Trump's golf empire evolved from a luxury brand into a cultural and ideological symbol. It's not just where people go to play golf, it's where they go to make a statement. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Let's take a look at what's next for Trump Golf in 2025. As of 2025, Trump shows no sign of slowing down in the golf world. His properties are undergoing new renovations, and he's deepening his alliance with LIV Golf, even as lawsuits, investigations, and political pressures mount. Despite losing events like the PGA Championship, his courses are busier than ever thanks to a devoted niche audience and international partnerships. Speculation continues about a potential sale or IPO of the Trump golf brand, though nothing official has materialized. Analysts believe that Trump's aging leadership and legal challenges may prompt a transition to family control or a divestment strategy. His children, particularly Eric Trump and Donald Jr., have taken larger roles in daily operations. One emerging storyline is how Trump's alliance with Saudi Arabia and LIV Golf may shape his global brand legacy. Financially, it could be one of his most profitable moves yet, especially if LIV continues to gain legitimacy. Politically, however, it raises complex questions about international influence and post-presidency power. Even amid controversy, the real estate underpinning the Trump golf empire is valuable. Many of the properties are in prime coastal and metropolitan zones, making them attractive to investors, regardless of political baggage. Whether Trump returns to the White House or fades from the spotlight, his golf courses may be his most enduring legacy. They represent not just a personal passion, but a physical manifestation of his brand, luxurious, polarizing, and always headline-worthy. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the secrets behind Donald Trump's golf empire. From luxury resorts to lawsuits and politics, his courses are more than just places to play. They're power moves on grass. Watch the next videos to see how golf became the ultimate status symbol and who else is cashing in.